Okay.
So a couple days ago, that was interesting. Andrew Yang tweets out that the city of New Orleans recently declared a state of emergency after being hit by a cyber attack. Cybersecurity isn't something we hear politicians talk much about because they don't know much.
This
that
is
needs
freaky.
to change. Well, I agree with this big time. Yes, like there is a big problem with the political, just the American political establishment, just kind of being like, at least publicly, what we see is like, cyber, like AI, like we'll go through here phishing attempts, like very simple stuff, like not even like advanced deepfakes, like just like sending you emails, like there seems to be no.
These are the people where you have to show
effort.
them how to use a smartphone, and they're the ones that are passing legislation on cybersecurity. I mean, the absolute.
How
distance.
does Facebook make money if it's free?
Yeah,
That was a real question a politician asked Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Well, how do you make money if it's free? We sell ads, dude. That's how we sell data, dude.
How on television it's free? How does television make money?
Yeah,
all those what do you call them, pixels on the screen?
So anyway, the reason why this was interesting, so I want to show you guys a little bit of the story they released. This is from Alabama.com, so this is from the local source. Not a local source at all, because Alabama is not where New Orleans is, but Southeast American source. Anyway, the city of New Orleans has declared a state of emergency in the wake of an apparent cyber attack that has impacted municipal servers. Hear this, though. City computers and servers remain shut down after suspicious activity was detected early Friday morning. So when they post this, for a long time, they were down. Both phishing attempts and ransomware were detected. For people who don't understand what phishing is, phishing attempts is where actually Nathan Fielder, the comedian, made a wonderful video. You can look it up. It's called Can You Hack the Emmys, where he explains what phishing really is. You basically just make a phony website, send someone an email, and say, hey, you have to log in. And then they just give you their information, and you log in on the real website.
Yeah.
So it is like there isn't... When people talk about hacking, unfortunately, a lot of hacking is just con men work where you steal someone's information by them giving it to you. But that being said, they have a quote here saying the city remains actively involved in recovery efforts related to the cybersecurity incident last Friday. The city asked residents and vendors for their patience and understanding as our information technology team works to restore all operations to normal. The reason I wanted to bring that up is I wonder what the information technology teams are actually like across the country. Like, seriously, we
are so not ready for
when
this,
your
bro.
city gets hacked, if it does, because by the way, phishing,
we are so not ready for this.
Like they might say, "Don't worry, we have a team." What is the team? Is there? Are we really to believe there's like 40 like people sitting behind like computers with 40 screens in an office? Like, oh, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. There's probably a couple of people like, what happened? Oh, all of the city and servers are down and computers don't work. Oh, so like we can't do any work.
Well,
No.
I mean, think about this, Cody.
Like,
this is a little bit before your time because you're younger than me, but in the Martin Luther King Day quake of 94, it knocked out all the telephones, knocked out half the water mains, knocked out all methods of communication and electricity. There was one thing that worked. The local radio station actually worked and became the central hub through which people would find each other. Like, and if you could call into the station, you'd say, oh, hey, we're okay. And they broadcast it. And, you'd have these beautiful stories of like, parents figuring out that their children were safe, and then also there were families that had a well and they'd say, hey, look, anybody in my community, I've got well water. If you need water, come to this address and we'll give you well water. And the radio station in our hometown was kind of this cohesive thing that kept everything together. Yeah, that's back when it was analog. And that's why it wasn't knocked out.
But now all we would need is
But now,
internet.
like, the whole program of the entire radio station is on a little desktop that sits underneath the host. And you can't tell me that's not the most vulnerable little Dell, that one phishing email to some goofball intern in that radio station wouldn't give access to somebody who could shut that whole radio station down.
Technically, I mean, the one thing specific to radio that's different is a radio station has a physical point to broadcast from. Somebody could just go to that physical point to broadcast and correct it there.
Yeah, but not from China.
Well, no, but...
Oh, no, sorry, you're right. You're saying somebody that wanted to fix the problem.
If someone from China hacked the computer and shut it down, they just stop sending that feed to the actual physical broadcast location and then go to that location and change it. So, but my larger point is nowadays I think it's weird the internet would replace that. Like, you think about if like the wire got cut and severed for you couldn't transmit to a radio station, it'd be a lot easier to figure out the infrastructure to get internet back, I think, because you could do internet. You don't have to like install the certain things. You can kind of do broadband Wi-Fi stuff. I'm just saying, man, internet is good, but here we go. Because talking about the computers and stuff, because again, phishing attempts, unfortunately, tricking people to give you their information. There's no sophisticated the only sophisticated technological response we've came up with is what they call the two-factor identification or whatever.
Yeah.
or authentication. Basically, your phone gets texted with the code. Like, having something physically on the person is basically the only thing. Because, yes, me just sending you an email saying, hey, you have to change your password. It's password changing day, everyone. And you just giving me your password isn't like hacking. But I thought it was cool. There was a story that also went out, and I think kind of a little bit in response to what happened we saw in New Orleans. From CNBC saying that automated hacking, deepfakes are going to be major cybersecurity threats in 2020. I think that means in general, not necessarily in elections, in general. A couple points here interesting is that artificial intelligence used to carry out automated targeted hacking is set to be one of the major threats to look out for in 2020. Which, yes. I mean, do you think if I could do phishing stuff, do you think AI could do that? AI could come up with emails? You could actually feed an AI like 50, 60 different emails so that they can craft like the perfect email that'll be. Anyway, aside, related to AI is the rise and spread of disinformation and deepfakes, especially since 2020. So deepfakes. Talk a lot about deepfakes in this article. It's kind of what I talk about. For anyone not familiar with what that means, related to AI is the rise and spread of disinfo and deepfakes, especially since 2020. Deepfakes are images and videos created using computers and machine learning software to make them seem real, even though they are not. Experts predict this technology could be used to cause confusion and propagate disinformation, especially in the context of global politics, and may become extremely hard to detect.
I mean, you could start think of the havoc you could wreak upon the psyche and the zeitgeist of the American public if all of a sudden you had a deep-faked video from North Korean chancellor saying, tomorrow we launch the nukes. You know what I'm saying? Imagine with how much footage there is of Donald Trump out there.
Well, how about this?
Imagine if you could just deep fake this, State of the Union address that wasn't real that's saying we are invading Mexico. Oh, yeah.
But even because stuff like that will be tough. How about lower profile stuff? They mentioned a little bit here. So they say at the organizational level, deepfakes will be also used to impersonate high-level targets at organizations to scam employees by transferring funds into fraudulent accounts. Again, you want to talk about phishing? How about when the phish comes in the form of a video of someone you recognize telling you something, and you're like, they literally video called me. How is that not real?
My cousin, my grandma got called from a Mexican jail saying, your grandson is in custody. He hasn't posted bail here. We will keep him indefinitely until he gets bail unless you Western Union us money. And she made it all the way to Western Union before, fortunately, the people at Western Union said, this smells a little bit like a scam, and there's been Mexican municipalities that have been doing this. You know what they'd done? They had been able to actually look up open source information of arrest records in the city and figured out that my grandmother's phone number matched his odd last name and call him. And since he wasn't reachable on the phone and she couldn't reach him, she thought it was real and was about to send bail money to just some dude in Chihuahua, Mexico.
Well, imagine with a video, right?
Yeah, with a video. Imagine if it's like, Grandma, I'm in jail. You got to send $10,000. How many just phishing attempts could be done for fake bail claims?
Yeah, but what I want to get to, which is I think what really worries me here a little bit, is this. So they mention here again, they go, in the political arena, we can expect deepfakes to be leveraged as a tool to discredit electoral candidates and push inaccurate falsehoods to voters via social media.
Oh, yeah.
No, hold on, because I want to show you guys functionally, and I actually have to pull something up here really quickly. Now, there's an account, oh my God, make sure if I can find it, that's basically been going on an absolute vendetta against Bernie Sanders.
Really?
Anything
Okay.
Bernie Sanders related. Yeah, it's been a little bit... I guess funny is the word, just because how transparent it's become, just how much it's become of like, holy cow, man, like this person is just out to get Bernie Sanders. Okay. However, one thing they've been doing, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this stuff, they've been posting a lot of here we go. Here's a good example. I'm posting a lot of videos because recently Shankungar of the Young Turks, I know I pronounced his name wrong. I butcher everyone's name.
Just call him Chunky Yogurt.
Yeah, well, I'd rather pronounce his real name. Anyway,
Huger.
They've been going after him hard because he endorsed Bernie Sanders. So I want to show you guys something. I'm not going to play any audio. It's irrelevant. Just keep an eye on this clip in the background. They've been posting a lot of clips like this, a lot of old stuff. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the famous clip of Bernie Sanders allegedly in Russia or whatever, and he's like shirtless at a table, and it's like blurry, and you can kind of tell it's Bernie.
And he's singing the national anthem or whatever.
You can kind of sound him when he hears him like this, but sorry, I had no idea what that was going into. Anyway, the reason I want to show you guys that is because what deepfakes actually work. There's a big article here. I'll post the link. It's very fascinating. But basically, there's the way AI is used, they kind of keep running these programs over and over and over again, and it just cleans up something. So this video I'm showing you guys right now is over time. Top left is the 6th, top right is the 10th, and then the 12th and 13th of December, how over time the image cleans up and stuff. But one thing we were noticing, and the reason I want to get back to kind of the political angle of this.
They also have to understand the background, though. They were trying to deep fake the face of Mark Zuckerberg into the face of the Star Trek character.
Well, no,
it was a face swap.
Yeah, but they're
okay.
But the larger point here I'm trying to show you guys is when you're trying to do like you were saying, like some like HD broadcast from a national government and have it look good, it's going to look really weird and like something's wrong. And you can get it okay, but even then you'll notice points where it doesn't look like data from Star Trek. It's just an obvious weird faceless thing, right?
Okay.
But we're talking about, you look at some of these things, if it's kind of blurry and it isn't, you're not faking a Senate hearing, but you're faking what somebody said in an alleged donor meeting in a back room somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
With iPhone footage of display, there is going
like
to be
video,
stuff we're not going to be able. Like we are already at the point where technology exists, where videos like this Young Turks video, or I want to see if I can find the Bernie Sanders ones. All I'm trying to highlight with this, no flame Young Turks, is videos with quality like this. We're not going to be able to trust anymore pretty soon. Like just low quality videos is going to be a red flag.
And
be
sooner
fake.
or later,
almost always, and it's crazy that we're already there. When you look at what, because that stuff I was showing you,
sooner or later,
hobby.
even the high quality ones we won't be able to trust. Because don't forget, it was a 720p HD file of Mitt Romney saying 47% of America doesn't want to work, 47% is just going to vote for us no matter what. We only have 8% to work with. It was that infamous comment that really, that and then also the storm on the East Coast that basically cost him the election, was a piece of video footage. Okay, that looking at it now between you and me, Cody, was easily deep fakeable.
Well, no, but
easily deep fakeable.
No, but stuff like that, though. Like I said, my larger point is what we have to worry about. Because even then, while the video quality is one thing, this is something you wouldn't have to worry about too much of being faked. I was trying to find it, but what I'm saying is the stuff that's going to be faked and we actually are not going to have proof for is a video of allegedly showing 3 people in some room somewhere talking.
Yeah.
Chen can just show you the footage. Say, here's the actual non-edited footage. People could say, I was actually at that Senate hearing and they never said this. But when you're alleging there's a few people, they do the thing where they block the identity of people not in question because, hey, you know what I mean? Like, we're blocking their identity because they are, we're not trying to expose them. That stuff can be faked already. And this is by the way, somebody, I'll show you, is that stuff I was showing you about just this face swapping with Zuckerberg and stuff. This was just done by a journalist. He said, I created my own deepfake. It took 2 weeks and cost $552. What do you think a campaign spending $100,000 can come up with for their opponent?
Yeah.
You think a campaign can come up with $100,000? Now, here's the thing. It ends your campaign if it's proven it's false, and it's too easy to prove a lot of this stuff is false. Now, I think the scary stuff is people getting smart and trying to fudge old video. But even then, we can prove the video isn't real. It's if you get caught, you're done, I guess is the reason why we're not seeing it, right?
But would you be really? Because honestly, let's be honest. There's so many things that people have come back from. And what I'm worried about is also forensically in criminal court. I mean, how easy is it going to be able to deepfake? You want to talk about, romance novels of intrigue where somebody gets framed or set up. How easy? Like Jussie Smollett could literally deepfake his beating. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, or not.
How insurance claims. Now you could literally be like, "Oh, this guy hit me," and it's a deepfaked video. I mean, this is a serious issue, and it's actually the issue that Andrew Yang invoked in justification of his data as a private property right. He literally said, "I think because we're entering an era of deepfakes that we need to have digital data as a private property right."
It is. Here's the thing, though. While there's things I like about it. At the exact same time, one thing that is kind of worrying as well, not as worrying, but if we do move forward towards a future where basically everybody is like retaining their image rights all the time, there's no way I think you could do it. You have to, they're infringing on my image rights by fraudulently claiming to be like, I don't know, like what is the law against me just editing a video to look like someone else? And then what if I just make a video where some guy looks like some other guy, I don't really care, and then I just post it on Twitter, and then somebody uses that video because it can be politically damaging to that guy I didn't care about when I made it. Like, is that
Why
illegal?
do I have a looming feeling that we won't figure this out or make a law for it or establish what the norms are for this situation until somebody has deepfaked a video that causes a citywide riot somewhere? Like, why do I have a feeling that there must be large amounts of destruction of both life and property before we're going to figure out this deepfake thing?
Well, because, until there's like a legit trial on it, one, there's no real laws about it. Because again, what right does the government have to say, I can't make a video? You know what I mean? Like, you're not allowed to face swap one person onto another. So if I find a video of some guy saying some stuff that's mean and offensive, and I think it's funny to face swap, I don't know, just pick someone's face onto it.
It's hilarious. Yeah, Jib Job's out the door.
But what's saying
half the SNL skits are toast.
What if to me it's a funny joke, but in the context of a campaign, it could be damaging to a candidate? Where does that line get drawn between this is fraudulent political propaganda designed to ruin someone's campaign?
Conservatives couldn't do it. Democrats could.
The laws shouldn't. I feel like there should be a law saying that somebody can't just face swap me onto somebody else and just say, "Look, I have proof this person said these things. Here's a video." Like, that should not be allowed. I guess maybe the line is crossed when they say this is proof of them doing a thing and not this is an edited video I made. I guess the law applies to Photoshop.
Or if you're going to edit it and do a deepfake.
Same with Photoshop, right?
I can see them.
You can Photoshop me into someone else's face as a joke, but you can't Photoshop me into someone else's face and say this is 100% real and I'm accusing.
Well, no, I could see a very simple law. Like, for example, as a comedian, as a free speech advocate, I would never want to stop somebody's ability to do a face swap, especially in order to make a political statement or to make a humorous statement. I would never want to stop that. But I definitely would want to stop confusion about whether or not this was an endorsed face swap or not. So just like we have political commercials and the people have to say, I am Cardinellis and I approve this message, or I am Pete Buttigieg and I approve this message. And those don't have to be said on the super PAC ads. They only have to say this ad was paid for by, Justice Democrats for Cenk Uygur or whatever you want to say. I could see them passing a very simple law that says any video that will be face swapped needs to be watermarked, or you could be liable for all damages incurred by the video.
Again, yeah, I guess
I could see that. Just simply watermark it.
Nah, but again, I think it's just when they use the thing, like when the thing is being used to commit fraud or crimes. Because again, like what? Yeah. I can't make a video of my boss saying, "Oh, I'm going to sell the company and go to Mexico. You guys are all losers."
Because people worried about this with photocopiers.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like, I don't know. We can get into it forever because just the gray areas of it. Because you could, like, a prank and attempting to defraud investors could probably be the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough, right? Where do you draw the line? So anyway, though, that's all we got today. Unfortunately, with today being the day of impeachment, there was not a whole lot of stuff to talk about with the election. So we talked more Mayor Pete, and we got a little bit into the Star Trek stuff here with the face swap technology. But I mean, it's real.
Apologies. What are you apologizing for? This was great.
Because I wish there was more news coming out about the election, because I care about the election more than.
That's true. Because we all know the impeachment's just a scam that's going to get Donald Trump reelected. So anyway, let us know what you guys think. We're actually really interested in your opinions about deepfakes, what you see coming down the pike, what you see in the distance on the horizon with these deepfakes coming. If you want to contribute to the channel, make sure you check out the PayPal link in the description. Make sure you check us out on problemsolverpolitics.com if you want to pick up one of the cool hats. Also, leave us a voicemail at 1-833-PSP-RADIO. We love doing our voicemails on the live streams that we generally do Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're definitely going to have a much better set schedule by Jan 1, 2020. Either way, thanks a lot for watching, guys. This is Problem Solver Politics, and we'll see you guys in the next video.